Hey, this is Tyler, and first I just want to comment. Windows Media Player, not Windows Media, whatever. Windows Movie Maker, there we go. It sucks. It takes absolutely forever to do anything. And because I just made that video, that was the last video, the video blog number 1, and it took like 7 minutes to save like a 3-minute video. It was ridiculous. Anyway, so this video is going to be about how I got into Warhammer and really my history through it. And in the last video I said I was just getting into it, and that's really kind of a lie, because really I've been into it for about 2 years now, but it's been very off and on. I started Warhammer, like I said, about 2 years ago, and I was over at a friend's house and I noticed like all these models just stacked, just zillions of them. They were pretty awesome looking. And so I started playing a few games with my friend's models, and I was like, this is pretty sweet, I like playing. And also I love the models, they're just like completely detailed, they're awesome. So I decided that I was going to start my own army, so I went to a Hobbytown, USA by me. It's like 5 miles away. And so then I went there thinking I was going to start a Dark Angels army, the Space Marines, but I ended up going with the Necrons, and because I thought they looked pretty cool. I mean, they're walking metal skeletons that'll kill anything, and they come back to life. So I thought they'd be pretty awesome. So I got the codex to them and started reading. I got really into all their all the stories and stuff, and I just loved reading it all. And then I looked at all the painting schemes, and they weren't so great. I mean, you have a few cool ones like that red one that's all over the place, but for the main part I wanted to paint mine metal. So I mean, I was pretty limited on what I could do, because there are not too many colors in metal. So then I got a box set of Necrons and some paints. I believe my first paints were Chaos Black, Mithril Silver, and maybe a wash, I'm not sure. But so I painted those guys up, and I mean, they looked perfect. Not to be bragging, but I mean, they weren't too hard to paint. I mean, it was basically an undercoat with a dry brush over it. It was really uninteresting and really dull to paint, and I just didn't like it. So I stuck with them, and my main problem there was that I didn't get enough guys to actually play a game, therefore I got really bored with it. I ended up in the end having one squad of warriors, a Necron Lord, and 2 destroyers, which you can't play with, I mean, going by the force organization chart. So I got kind of bored of it pretty quick. So then I decided these guys are extremely boring to paint, so I'm gonna go have a go at the orcs. So then I got the orcs codex and started reading it. Once again, they're awesome, pretty sweet stories in there. It's a great codex. Looking at all the amazing paint jobs and just thinking, wow, wish I could do that. Go heavy metal team. Okay. But then I got some models, had the same problem. I didn't get enough to play. I just got bored with it. I mean, the models, I painted them okay. I mean, it wasn't too great, so I mean, there weren't much to look at. So then I sold them to a friend, sold the codex too. I forgot to say, I still have the Necrons codex. Still love reading the stories, it's pretty awesome. So then, after that, I took a long break. I didn't really go over to that friend's house really too much for like a year. So, I mean, he lives right across the street, so still. So then, about, I don't know, a couple months ago, I started going over to his house again, and I'm like, these models are pretty sweet. Same story as last time. So I went home, got on the internet, started researching it some more, and I decided I was going to start a Space Marines army. I was going to go with the Dark Angels again, and, well, I didn't start them in the first place, but whatever. And then I was gonna do a Deathwing, a pure Deathwing army, with all the Terminators and stuff, because they're pretty awesome looking. Because at that point I was mainly into the painting of it all, because I'd really gotten more into art at that point. I'd started drawing more and doing the digital stuff. So I decided I was going to do more painting and make them look awesome. So I looked at painting techniques and just everything. I mean, I even looked at some Tactica online to like try and win maybe a game. I don't know, but at least my models would look sweet. So my friend convinced me out of doing that. I don't remember for what reason, but then he was like, "So what are you gonna play now?" So I was like, "I don't know." So we went on the internet and we looked at all the different armies. I'm like, I really can't decide on it. And then I remembered back to my friend's dad had started a demon hunter's army, yeah, and he had bought a couple Terminators and stuff like that, but he had stopped playing. So I remember back to when he had first started to paint them and stuff, and I remember seeing the models, and they were amazing. I mean, they're sweet looking. Nice metal gold stuff on them. They're just sweet looking. So I looked at them again. I'm like, yeah, these are still sweet looking. I want to do this. So then I got the Codex and for the Demon Hunters, and then I also got with that the some Grey Knights and an Inquisitor. And so then I also bought some more paint with that. I had bought more paint, so then I started painting them, and I liked them. I liked them a lot. So then I decided to do some more, and actually in the end ended up buying those Terminators from my friend's dad. Here's one of them. I'll post a picture of them after the video, so you'll be able to see them in fuller or better detail-ish, yeah. So, yeah, I ended up buying those from him, and he sold me 5 Terminators. 2 of them were already painted, and so I got to paint the other ones. Now, I based my main paint scheme off of those Terminators, but they're not exactly the same. Like, on my friend's dad's Terminators, he used some Mithril Silver highlights to brighten up the models, but I feel that the Terminators should be a darker, more, almost more mature model. So they should have darker colors, and they should be more commanding, I should say. And so I decided not to put the Mithril highlights, and I didn't even put a blue ink wash, or, yeah, a wash on it, because I didn't want them to look exactly like my Grey Knights, which I did do the Mithril highlights and blue wash to them. I wanted them to stand out as being more ancient looking and more like they have authority to them. Like, I don't want them to look pansy, if that's what I want to say. So then I painted them some darker colors, and so now we're basically up to the present date. I've got some models over here, so I'll post some pictures after this, and hopefully you'll like them, and hopefully you'll ask questions and I can help you. So I'm not really too much of a newbie, like I said in my last video, but I mean, I didn't start yesterday, but I've not been painting for thousands of years like the other gurus out there. Hopefully my info can help. I mean, if it can't, too bad. But hopefully I can find something awesome to say for you guys. So here's the pictures.